Hey everybody, how we doing? This is day number 1 of the Mission 22 Meditation Challenge. And for those of you that don't know what Mission 22 is, it helps out veterans with PTSD, like myself, and veterans with TBI, and veterans that have committed suicide or thought of committed suicide. 22 veterans have, well, approximately 22, have committed suicide almost every day. And that to me is just unbelievable. And me being a suicide survivor myself, I just get involved whenever I can when it comes to helping someone in suicide prevention, because I know what it can be like to want to do it, but I also know what it can be like to survive it and see what happens afterwards. Because 20 years ago, like I used to tell people in programs, 20 years ago, I thought that was it. I wanted to kill myself because I was sick of life. My uncle and my grandfather passed away a month apart, and that was like losing my father, which I lost when I was 11 years old. It was like losing him all over again. And to anybody that's ever lost a parent, imagine losing 3 of the same parent. I went nuts. I started carving on myself. I wrote in big letters, F you world, before I took a bottle of sleeping pills, and I went to sleep. And I just thought that was the end of it. I was ready to say goodbye until a couple of my friends found me and they rushed me to the hospital. I remember the doctors saying that, they're surprised that I'm still alive. And the next thing I know, I'm sent to the Brockton VA because I'm an Army veteran. The Brockton VA was the mental ward, for lack of a better term. And I spent time there until I went out on the streets for a little bit. And then I found veterans housing. Or not veterans housing, but veteran shelters. And then I stayed in veteran shelters for a number of years. And then I got my own apartment. And then I met my son's mother. But one thing I always tell people is 20 years ago I tried to take my life. My son is 9 years old now. You do the math. The best thing in my life, happened 11 years after I tried to kill myself. So if I succeeded, then he would have never had a chance in life. Let that sink in for a moment. And another thing that I've done for the past few years, well, give or take 10, is my books over here. That's 5 of them, but I've written 7 now, working on them 8, which they can all be found at lifelongexperience.net, but that's not what this is about. But being an author, I've sat in many talks about bullying, about suicide, about all the topics in my books, about all that. Meditation. If you can hear me kind of gasping for air and sniffling, I got sick over the weekend and I'm going to have a COVID test tomorrow, but later today. Not sure if I have it or not, but we shall see. And it's another bridge I'm going to cross when it comes. But anyway, back to meditation. I have a video out there. I'm going to have to get the link and put it on my Mission 22 blog. But I have a link on YouTube about meditation. But a couple pointers on it is one thing that people um, think when they do meditation is you're not supposed to think. Your mind's supposed to be clear. That's bull. I don't know anybody that meditates that doesn't have a thought come into their head. When you meditate, I heard once, and this is like law for me when I meditate, is think of all the thoughts in your head being like a tree with leaves on it, and the leaves are falling down on the onto the water below. There's a river below. They're falling onto the river below, and the river is washing them away. So when you think, when you meditate, you're not stuck in that thought. You're processing it and letting it flow away. That's the key to meditation. It's not thinking, but letting it flow away. So now what I thought I would do is show you one of my favorite meditations. I call it the candle meditation. And what you do is you light a candle, like so. And what I do is I put it in this jar here, because if my cat happens to come up on my lap while I'm meditating or something, he's not going to turn into a fireball jumping off my lap. And then I turn the light off. Excuse me. And you can still see the candle. So when you're meditating, candle meditation, you lightly gaze upon the candle and take a couple deep breaths in and out. Gazing upon the candle. And you let your senses just widen. Your sense of feel, your sense of hearing, your sense of touch, your sense of smell, everything. And this was something that ancient ninjas and ninjutsu clans used to do way back when. And that's how they became so good with their senses. They could hear somebody coming from far off, or they could hear something where the normal person couldn't. But you just sit there and try to listen to everything around you. Try to smell all the smells around you. Try to just take it all in. And in the summertime, when it's not 5 degrees outside, you can open the windows and hear a lot more, smell a lot more, feel a lot more. But I'm going to do this for 5 minutes, and then I'll turn the light back on and end the video. sound you hear in the background is my heater. It's about 10 degrees here in Worcester, Massachusetts. If you're not in Worcester, you pronounce it Worcester, but people here in Worcester call it Worcester, where we got over a foot of snow this last weekend. It's important too when you're meditating to not let noise get to you. I remember working in a detox once where there was a couple of guys that I told them to go meditate. I gave them some pointers on it, and they came back to me. They're like, "I can't do it. There's too much noise." And I said, "Well, you're always going to have noise when you're meditating. There's always going to be some kind of something going on around you. You got to just let that be a part of the practice. Don't let it make you angry. Just let it be part of it and let it flow away from you. Let that noise, whatever it is, like my dog barks at the wind. Whatever that noise is, just let it go. Just, and it doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while to get there. Like my dog used to bug the out of me when I would try to meditate, but now I just let it go. Okay, so I'm not sure if that was exactly 5 minutes or not, but that's it. I'll do another one tomorrow, and I plan on recording everyone bigger one's not going to be about 15 minutes or so, but I'll record every meditation for the next 30 days anyway. Everybody stay safe out there. Keep meditating. And if you see a veteran, thank a veteran. You don't know what's going on inside them. You don't know they go to war for you and they take that home with them. And the least we can do for them, even fellow veterans, the least we can do for them, each other, is to support them and let them know that we're here for them. Like this Mission 22. All right, everybody have a great day. See ya.